All right, I'm gonna come over here. So, buenas tardes, good evening, beloved guests and respected officials. My name is Ariela Ronay-Jinich. I'm the founder and executive director of Olamim. We work with Latin Jewish families here in the Bay and beyond. This is my first Freedom Seder. I've never done a Seder outside of home, and this is awesome. It's truly a blessing to be surrounded by Jews and allies who are answering the JCRC call to strengthen each other at this time. This Pesach, this Passover, I'm reflecting on one of the core practices. It's not eating matzah, or even telling the story of Exodus. It's the mitzvah, the practice of how we identify, how we see ourselves. The mitzvah of building a narrative, no matter what happens, that sustains us and empowers us. In the Torah, it says, in each generation, a person is obligated to see themselves as though they personally left Egypt. We are to see ourselves in the story and to build a sense of self around it. We are to see ourselves, as has been said many times tonight, in the pain, the promise, the awe, and the challenge of having gone through these experiences. 3 summers ago, I attended a family reunion commemorating 100 years since my family migrated from Starovin, Russia, and Pest, Hungary, to Mexico City. I'm a 3rd generation Mexico Cityan, and as part of the reunion, I got to put myself in the shoes of my 1920s relatives and visit Tacuba 15, which was the first Jewish community center in Mexico City, where folks poured over how they would organize and establish the first Jewish community centers, including the first schools and cemeteries. And these newly Mexican Jews were so aware of the need to take care both of the living and the dead, the emerging and the departing. They fundraised, they donated, they planned social events, they offered interest-free loans to arriving immigrants, they extended housing and employment opportunities, and they even lent out their mailboxes to folks who didn't have one so that they could hear from relatives far away. This first generation saw their continuity challenges so clearly. They had no delusions or hopes that some larger entity would provide any of it. They had to create what they needed. And they did so much in their power to ensure that the Jewish community in Mexico City would function as a full-fledged community and thrive for generations to come. As I was learning all of that, I started to wonder, is this where I get it from, this whole communal leadership thing? Yes, it is. I saw myself in them. And this is why stories are so important. Spiritual leader and scholar Michal Biton writes that what we need is a culture where people take ownership over their communities. She writes, we don't need another generation of Jewish consumers. We need a generation of Jewish builders. The Jewish community in the United States, in the Bay, has built so much. But seemingly in every generation, the cycle catches back up on us, where even though we have strong foundations, we have new challenges and new opportunities. I'm gonna share something with you, and you're gonna have to chew on it. It's a piece of data. By 2050, 1/3 of the US population will be Hispanic and Latino. 1/3. Chew on that. What will that mean for the Jewish community, for family building, for cultural continuity, for community relations? And it's not just gonna happen in 25 years, right? It's building. It's a change we need to meet. So the organization that I started, Olamim, is acutely aware of this. We're offering intergenerational programs and learning resources that catalyze local leadership, they drive educational innovation, they bridge and build community, and serve the growing diversity of Jewish families. Why do we focus on families and educators? Because we build people. We build culture and mindsets. And I want to challenge everyone here in the room to know that this is a time to hold a more complex, global, and diverse story of Jewish peoplehood, and to build around that, to see ourselves in that way, and to invite others to also think of us in that way. Passover is so much the story of Bnei Israel, the children of Israel, but really the Torah asks us to see ourselves as Bonei Israel, the builders of Israel, not just Bnei, the children, the inheritors of history, the outcomes of other causes, but the builders of something new, something good. I am very inspired to be here tonight, and I'd like to also invite you to come this summer. We are partnering with the JCRC to launch a Latin Jewish festival, so I hope you come. It's in August, and we're partnering with a lot of partners, some of which are here tonight, and to be part of this work together of building a more complex story of who we are. I also brought you a little gift. So we created my family's Passover migration story. We all have stories to tell about where we came from. And this is a gift for people who are interested. It's really my shy way of getting people to approach me to meet you. So may we go from generation to generation, from strength to strength. Thank you so much for having me here. Chag Sameach.